So everyone, let's welcome the writers, director, and leads of Most Likely to Murder. I think, why don't you guys introduce yourselves? Just like your name and
hi.
what you did.
I'm Dan Gregor. I co-wrote the movie, and I'm the director.
Yes. I'm Doug Mann. I'm the other co-writer, and I play Dwayne.
Hi, my name's John Reynolds, and I played Perkins in the movie.
I'm Adam Pally, and I play Billy.
So you two already had quite a bit of experience writing together.
We've been writing together since our college sketch group at NYU when we were 19 or 20, and so it's been a long time now. And we did that for years with Adam as a writing sort of sketch comedy trio. And eventually Adam got hired on Happy Endings. We got hired on How I Met Your Mother, and Doug and I have been writing partners on sitcoms sort of ever since.
So the question probably on everyone's minds is, how are you not sick of each other yet?
No one said we weren't sick. No.
Is that on everybody's mind?
I think I
You guys are
speak for
dying
everyone.
to know. It's like any other marriage. It's like it's about communication and and talking out our feelings with each other. When we're pissed, we got to talk about it. But I think that we feel like we get good work out of one another, and it's been very rewarding. So
I often describe my wife as my best friend and Doug as my wife.
Who am I?
Eating up.
A nanny.
You're our girl on the side, baby.
Yeah, I'm a side bitch.
And now we're taking you out.
Yeah, no, look at me. A gumad on the town.
All right, now do me, who am I? Come on, lay
I
into
just
me.
wish you would stop calling.
Shouldn't have gave me the number.
And now, was this process any different? Because I assume you knew you were directing it from the get-go. That was the goal.
I mean, the only difference was that we didn't have to self-edit for someone else's expectations. That was the biggest thing, which is the whole reason we wanted to do this, and we've been trying for forever to try to get this movie made, is that, whenever you're writing for either for a show where it's someone else's, original vision, or when it's even just a more commercial kind of studio movie, you're just inherently writing knowing that there is a creative wall that you have to answer to eventually. And so either you're self-editing or you're forced to edit things out. And going into this, we just wrote the movie we wanted to see, and knowing that ultimately it was all in our control to make it what we wanted was the big difference.
Adam, so you had known from the get-go that you were going to be the lead in this. Is that right?
Yeah.
I'm just making stuff up.
Yes. Doug and I met when we were 18 and lived together for a long time. And then Dan lived on our couch. And this was one of the thousands of terrible ideas that we had where we were like, no, well, maybe we'll make that bad idea a good idea. And so it was always kind of this amalgamation of it. And then as things started moving, and then Dan married Rachel, and then Rachel came into our group, and Rachel was like, well, Rachel should do it. And then that's kind of how everything happens,
Yeah. We wrote the movie for Adam, though. When we wrote it, Billy was always Adam. And so, and he had no choice. He had to.
And I appreciate it because no one's ever done that.
He kept getting shows, and we were like, "You're still in this movie. You
Yeah.
have to be in this movie." He's like, "Yeah, sure. It'll never get made." And then it got made.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, it's very hard to have people like it's such a when you hit that level, people are like writing. People write for like Will Ferrell all day long. It's like they have perspective movies for Will Ferrell, and so when your two best friends who know your voice better than most writers are like, we have this for you. It's like the greatest. I can't express how lucky as an actor I was to be in this position.
It was super important for us too, because the character is is very much meant to be on the fence of like likable or not likable. You should kind of hate him sometimes and be annoyed by him. And so knowing Adam very personally, we knew he could pull that off great.
Thank you. My superpower is not telling if you like me or not.
We'll do an audience vote later on.
Oh no, I don't care.
Ooh, that's like a dream.
Yeah, don't care.
And did you? So, you had in mind. Was it always a mystery then, or you guys are comedy writers,
Yeah.
and then when did the mystery element come in? Because that's what makes this really pop.
Doug and I wanted to write a coming home for the holidays movie forever. It's like our favorite little subgenre of movies. And we the very first draft of this like movie as just an outline was just about finding a VHS tape to watch an old sex tape in, a VHS player, and like the whole movie was just that.
Wasn't good.
No, it was really bad. And
Bad outline.
And we kind of just realized that that we needed to make this a much more active kind of experience and drive, and so we took that emotion of sort of trying to hold on to your past and like desperate for the nostalgia that has long ago passed, and tried to find a way to make it sort of an active fear. It's something that was life or death in this moment for this character.
So John, when did you come in? When did you know you were playing the detective cop?
When did I know? When they offered it to me, and I said yeah. I don't know. Doug and Dan sent me the script, and I thought that the parts sounded really funny, and that it would be fun to play. And then I said yes. And then I met them all at the table read, and the table read was a hit. My roommate was in the movie.
You didn't even know that he was going to be
That I didn't even know he was going to be in there.
That was the enticement. We like
Yeah,
brought
he
him
was
on board.
in it, which was cool. So I didn't
Gary
even know he was
Richardson,
gonna be in it.
an SNL writer, very talented. He's one of the football players.
Yeah, so we both were like, oh, we met there too, and that was crazy. And Doug had a chin beard at the time, and I thought that was just the way he looked all the time, which isn't the case. Doug's hot. In the movie, Doug's so ugly. And then here, Doug is hot. And to me and my friends was like, wow.
Yeah, it was crazy because Doug was so ugly in the movie.
On set, everyone was like, I
Crazy.
can't believe this guy's in the movie. He's so
Yeah.
ugly. Everyone's going to just turn on
My whole
the TV.
family, my family would
Everyone
come
was
to visit.
talking about it?
My family would come to visit set, and they'd be like, this is so exciting. And as soon as Doug would walk away, they'd be like, is he okay?
I would FaceTime my dad on set, and I'd be, and here's Doug, and then my dad would be like, oh, Lord, that man is fucked up.
I didn't know everyone felt so strongly. I mean, I was definitely depressed, but I didn't know that.
And this also had all these other friends from like UCB and Second City and like the improv world. How did that all?
That was
come
always
together?
kind of like the dream to do a movie in New York and get to have all our like funny friends that we got to come up with through UCB be in the movie and just sort of like frankly just like cash in on the fact that we spent all of our 20s like slugging it out under Gristides in Chelsea and just have those relationships like come back.
So you guys came up doing tons of improv, and so how much of that was incorporated into the script both before and during the screening?
On set, we didn't have a ton of time, so I think Dan did a really good job of allowing us to get the scene and then allowing the actors to play a little bit. So there are improvised moments, but if it doesn't contribute to moving the plot forward, we couldn't really use it, and we didn't have the luxury of so much time and money to just play as much as we wanted to, probably. So there are improvised moments in the movie that did make the final cut.
Call out John Reynolds, that line about the
A Dracula
Dracula can sell cereal, but a pair
One of my
can't be a
favorite
mascot. My
jokes.
favorite random improv, wonderful. Pally improvised the line about getting caught by his manager for accidentally staring at penises too much in the restroom.
Yeah.
It's a lot of brilliant stuff, guys.
I probably improvised some stuff too, but Dan just forgets it. I did.
hard.
I did stuff.
It's hard for Doug's comedic timing to shine through under all that face prosthetics. It's just so difficult. It's like Charlize Theron wasn't super funny in Monster. Same way for Doug in this movie.
That was actually the inspiration for this part. I just watched Monster over the
What a bummer.
documentary. Yeah, well, that's me.
And what about parts? I'm sure there were parts like improv sections and other sections that were cut out. Can you tell us about any of your favorite moments that had to be
Yeah,
left on
I mean
floor?
the plot. We kept finding that like it was super important to hold on to the through line of the tension and the mystery, and that if we took too much of a tangent off of it, it would be kind of lose all the energy. So we had so much stuff at the Thanksgiving dinner scene, both like before dinner. Like John Lutz is in that. He's one of the funniest, best comedians in the world. Michael Kostroff also was this amazing actor. He's from The Wire, and they were so funny. I can't even tell you, but that was one of the harder cuts. But we lost probably like 8 minutes of dinner table comedy.
And also the scene, the scene when John Reynolds' character is looking through Adam's room, through Billy's room for the tape. That was one of the funniest days on set. The two of them improvising with each other we lost takes just from crew laughing, and it was like being at a live show. It was amazing. We couldn't use all of it, but there was like some of the most amazing scenes between the two of them. They just had such funny lines. They were such little children immediately, like hitting each other with pillows. It was adorable and hilarious.
There's also when I come over to the house after the Thanksgiving dinner, that we were doing this bit where you were like holding the door open barely, and I couldn't get through the door.
I love that scene. Yeah, I was fucking with him. Like I was like, he comes to the door and I look through the thing and I clearly see that it's him, but for some reason I want to make sure, so I'm like opening the door a crack and I'm like, tell me your name. You're like, you called me.
And then I'm like trying to get in and you're like slamming the door on me and I was like, is it open? What's going on?
That was a fun day for us, apparently.
We didn't love that scene that much.
Didn't work.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So, and this, where was it filmed, and how long was the process?
It was really fast. It was 20 days. We did it.
Wow is right.
Thank you. That's accurate.
Wow is
reaction.
right.
Yes. We were about 2 weeks in Eastchester, New York, which is our stand-in mostly for Valley Stream, and it's up by Westchester. And then
Would you say it's east of Westchester?
I guess it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I just was trying to put it
The
together.
more famous of the Chesters. And then just around Manhattan and Brooklyn for other pickups, like the Dwayne's house was in Queens, and that club was Tao nightclub in New York in the Meatpacking District.
Was there ever an ending that was heading in a different direction, or that you had considered other directions for that?
I think for us, the most important thing for us is that Billy did not end up with Kara. That was that we didn't want one act of selflessness to suddenly get him the girl, which I think happens very often in movies. So I think for us, what we wanted to do was make a guy going to jail as happy as possible. Like the fact that you're calling it a happy ending, but he's going to jail and he's he didn't get the girl. I think I'm excited that that's how it feels. It was always meant to be that, though, and we didn't want to.
He doesn't deserve much more than that.
We completely agree.
Right,
but
exactly.
if this had been made for a studio, he probably would have had to have ended up with.
When probably about 10, maybe even longer, maybe like 12 years ago, the three of us were given a copy of a movie called Foot Fist Way. That Danny McBride and his group of friends, Jody Hill directed it, and that movie changed. I remember sitting in our living room, the three of us watched it, and as soon as it was done, we went out to eat, and we probably talked for 10 hours about how that movie changed our perspective on what a lead character could be, because Danny McBride in that movie is the villain, but you root for him from the moment it starts, and you can't kind of put your finger on why. And it ends in a very similar tone where you're like, am I supposed to be happy for this guy? I don't know, but I loved that movie. And that was kind of, I think, the initial inspiration to do a movie in this tone?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of codified something for us, and that we've kind of tried to hold on to for everything that we do is that there's this sort of misconception in a lot of movies, and especially like we start getting notes from studios that you're supposed to make your characters likable. But we really recoil at that idea that to us the only thing that matters is like being empathetic. That if you can see yourself in their position, you don't have to like what they're doing, but like frankly, you don't like what you do half the time.
Yeah.
So like you just need to recognize that it's a human experience.
Not true.
I mean, I hate myself, so you know.
Well, I think all people do unlikable things all day long. And that's the unfortunate nature of human existence, is that you are never fully good. Even the best people like step on a fly, and there's like life gives you bad things all the time. And to whitewash a character by saying that they are just likable is kind of boring to me. It's like that. All my friends are terrible. I love them for who they are. You're looking at me like, yeah, right. I mean, you're a shitty dude. Like, I like you. I like
so
you.
are you calling me one of your friends?
Yeah, of course. We're buddies now.
We love you, dude.
We love you, man. Awesome.
Thanks, man.
You're
but, like,
amazing,
you're
man.
awesome. But like, you do stuff all day long that, like, if a movie studio executive saw that, they'd be like, that's unlikable. And we're like, but that's a person. And we know that it can't be done for $100 million on 500,000 screens, but that doesn't mean it can't be done.
Oh.
I like that.
Oh.
Look at
I've never
that.
gotten a sincere applause break before.
Wow.
Keep it
really
going.
Limped right into that one.
Oh, by the way, if people have questions, there are cards going around, and feel free to fill those out and hand those in ASAP. So for John and Adam, and I guess Doug, what were some of your, so being hit in the testicles, and what were some other of your favorite moments of being on set? You didn't actually say that was your favorite.
No, that was my least favorite. I guess I'll be a little sappy here and not single out a single moment, but say that every day being directed as an actor by Dan was, don't want to get emotional, but it was one of the best experiences to be with someone that I know all of Dan, and then to see him in a different way leading this enormous thing, and then to see this and to see my performance, and it's just that was the best part, is just going to work every day and doing your scenes, and when there was a question, instead of being like, stranger I'm scared of, you'd be like, Dan, Doug, and like that is something that I don't think I'll ever forget.
Wow, that was really sweet.
Applause break.
Great.
Yeah.
Second applause break.
That's 2 in 1 Q&A.
John.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, John. That's okay.
Doug, I'll take this, Doug.
I'll talk about myself.
Doug's
here.
favorite thing on set.
I would say just every day really was a kind of a pinch me day, because you don't usually get to make your own work. Like, we've been writing for other people for so long, and we're very lucky. But I think the day that stuck out to me the most was we shot all the scenes between Dwayne and Billy in the basement. So all the investigation stuff all in one day. And that was, for me, just to get sappy as well, like, it was also a dream come true. Adam's my best friend. I've grown up with him. Dan's my best friend. I've grown up with him. And to be able to play in this world that we created and have fun and do these kind of silly but emotional scenes was, I still can't believe we got to do it. I still feel incredibly lucky that we got to do it. And I'm a fan of, like, Adam Pally, but he's not just my friend. I'm like, I got to, like, we lived together, and then for 10 years he went and was just on TV every day and just became like this unreal actor. And so to get to be in scenes with him was really such a thrill. And then I feel like I was in great hands with Dan, like, every time I was in front of the camera. So yeah, clap for that one. Come
Doug gets a sincere. That's nice.
John.
And I had a good time on the movie. And
What do you think about me?
Dan, dynamic guy. But yeah, all the scenes where we got to play around and goof off on camera was really fun. It was pretty laid back on set, which was nice. I think one of my favorite days was driving the car at the end. with Adam in the back, and we had like Charlie the DP here. It was us. And I didn't have my glasses on, so I couldn't see. And we were like driving through the streets with the police escort. And Adam was like kicking me in the back of the head, doing like all this improvised garbage that wasn't getting in. And I don't know, it was just fun. It was like just playing around.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Yeah, there was a while where that was just gonna play for like 8 minutes straight over the credits, and
Because I kicked him for a long time.
there was a lot of you harassing him in fact.
Yeah, which was fun.
So we got some questions from the audience, and one is, what made you decide to set the movie on Long Island?
I'm from Valley Stream. I'm from Woodmere specifically. I went to Hewlett High School, and whatever. Yeah, all right.
Applause break.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
And so, we just sort of knew that, like, for us, the specificity of, like, having a real place that we could draw on very explicitly was very important. Every single location in that scene is very particularly, like, a place that Doug and I, like, in our lives back in our little suburban towns, like, would hang out. Like, I have the parking lot that I remember, like, all the kids used to go and, like, get drunk and stoned and hook up in. And, every one of those things is very directly based on a real place.
And another question for the actors. Do you have any inspirational stories for actors who sometimes think of giving up? And did you ever think of giving up?
No, I never thought of giving up, but that's only because I have no other skills. And I think that I was very lucky, and my parents were amazing people, and they encouraged every artistic whim I ever had. And so that gave me a sense of confidence to go out and never want to give up. But the thing that I tell everybody, which is something that my father told me, is that if you're thinking of giving up and you're like, I can see myself not doing this, then you probably shouldn't do it. The only people that make it are the ones that don't give up. And you keep getting knocked down and all that shit, and that's par for the course and whatever. But like, the only way to do it is to only do it. And you can't be half in and half out, and you have to be rejected all day long every day, and then you do it. And then it just starts working. And then when it's working, you're still getting rejected every day. So you just have to know that this is what you want to do, and there's no other options. So if you feel like there are other options, you should go take those.
Yeah, for sure.
Also write for yourself, too. No one put me in anything. I put myself in my own damn movie. And people were not psyched about it. Like at Lionsgate, they're like, oh, Doug Mann, okay. And so, fuck him.
Yeah.
So, I put
I agree.
myself in it, and who cares?
You gotta
And
go
he's
get it.
and he's unbelievable. Like
Amazing.
I like to call Doug out on this. Like this is a part that, like, for me, it very easily it is always going to be like a funny part, but like there's a true, like, there's a pathos there. There's a sadness in that character that is an extra level of, like, impressive
Work.
thought and
Really good work.
that is not an automatic in a part like this.
Yeah, so I think Doug's right.
Write for
Kill
yourself.
Doug.
Don't
Do it
just
yourself.
don't just wait. Write for yourself. Anyone can write. Don't tell yourself you can't write. You can write.
Just
You all
because
have
you're
stories.
SAG or AFTRA
Yeah.
doesn't mean you can't be WGA.
Some of you are both.
Yeah.
I would second what both these guys said, and I also don't have any other real skills. I've been asked to quit from several jobs I had.
Asked to
That's
quit.
Not a joke.
We don't want to fire you because you're a likable dude.
I was working in the box office of a theater I was performing in, and they told me they were going to give somebody else my shift. And I was like, what? And they were like, that shift you have? And I was like, I know, but why is somebody else going to take it? And then I was like, are you firing me? And then my boss said, yeah, kind of.
What a silly place to work.
Yeah.
That's what, no, it was sad. The story's sad.
Sorry, I'm so sad.
It is a sad story, but
And I got asked to quit from the Levi's store on Michigan Avenue in Chicago by my boss, who was in the band The Flock of Seagulls.
Wow.
And I also got asked to quit from a sandwich shop called Snarfs.
Snarfs.
And then when I quit, my roommate at the time was like, maybe I'll try to get a job there. And then the manager was like, you smell like John smells. And they did not hire him.
What did you smell like?
I have no idea. I was like, what?
How bad could you smell that you smell bad for snarfs?
Yeah.
Maybe I smelled too good to be eating a sandwich around. That's how I took it. And would that inspire me to act?
Nice.
So
What a journey.
Now I know
Full
the
circle.
now I know the applause doesn't mean anything. That kind of applause.
What a
yeah,
journey.
they work at Snarfs. Take a bow.
What a journey.
Those are some.
You guys stick with me. I'll take you on most beautiful journeys. In the mall. Journeys in the mall. See what I did?
Yep. I
Those
know
are some
exactly what you did.
inspirational words. So
Thank you.
What are your hopes for this movie?
Our hopes are for you to tell your friends about it and for you to buy it on iTunes. And but really, like this is the new kind of world we live in, where these movies are meant to just go kind of like straight from like a select audience to homes. And so you know, our hope is that like people get to see this movie and enjoy it in their homes. And truly, I mean it, like you're taking part in the conversation of it online and with your friends, like goes a long
It
way.
actually really
The
helps.
biggest thing, like you wouldn't think it, but just having the movie be in the conversation is, I think, what would be amazing. So if you liked it, just hashtag most likely to murder and
link it to the iTunes.
link it to the iTunes,
whatever
or
it
just
is.
tell your friend that you liked it, and that is kind of all we can hope for.
It's the only way we'll get to make more movies, and movies like this only get made if they make their money back.
Yeah.
And make a little more. So we just want people to see it.
So pay money for it. Tell your friends.
Yeah. Or if you can't
Enjoy
pay
it.
money for it, understandable. Just tell your friends.
Or steal it.
yeah. If
I
it's-
really
if
don't
it-
care.
If,
Adam
it's,
Pally
do not
if,
care.
it's, if it's pirated a
Most
lot,
likely
that's
murder.
good too.
They track those numbers
Getting
too.
the
They track
no
the
from
pirate-
Lionsgate on that
We're
one.
definitely not going to see a dime anyway, so it doesn't matter.
They track the pirated movies. Like, if you got to go to Canal, just do it. I don't know where you're gonna find a
I would be
DVD player
so
to play it,
excited
but
if someone
yeah.
was at Canal.
I think
That'd be
what
like
you should
making
do is you should take the link to the movie and slide it into your crush's DMs. That's how you really get the conversation going.
Oh, here comes John's new character, Millennial John.
So
Yeah.
creepy.
He dabbed, and what better way to wrap up?
No one's
Q&A
filming
panel.
this, right?
Thank you
Thank
guys
you,
for
Dad.
watching.
Thank you
and
for coming.
Guys,
Really, we really appreciate
give it up once
Thank
more
you.
for Dan Gregor, Doug Mann, John Reynolds, Adam Pally. I'm Timothy Cooper. I think I speak for everyone when I say awesome, guys.
Oh, yeah, thanks, man.
Awesome.